I think this is what I'm ultimately saying. I'm looking at his contract situation. He just finished 23-24. He's locked in for 25. He's locked in for 26 as a player option in 27. In the next 2 years, if I were to bet money, I would bet money on the Dallas Mavericks not making it back to the finals and Luka leaving than this team being back to the finals again in the next 2 to 3 years.
We let you slide, buddy. We let you slide, Mr. Gila. The Paul George of point guards, Paul George of shooting guards, I guess. Yeah, I was right in my take all along. Kyrie Irving was not Jalen Brunson. He is not Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is better than Kyrie Irving. I hate the fact that we let that just slide in the finals because he was underperforming a lot. I'm seeing it even being rewritten in real time, only a couple of days removed from the finals. But yeah, I know. It looks like it worked out just fine. Yeah, I guess it did. I mean, if we're a results-based type of people, but I think Jalen Brunson would have fared better if they would have went to the finals. Not necessarily saying Dallas would have just straight up won because they had Jalen Brunson, but I think Jalen Brunson would have performed much better.
Yeah, style of play, I have to agree that Jalen Brunson would have done better because Jalen Brunson has I don't want to say more methodical game. It doesn't get damn near more methodical than Kyrie Irving's game, but his game isn't based around strictly tween shot creation. It's kind of like playing into the Celtics' hands.
I will say this. I would like to see that Dallas Mavericks team, or not necessarily but would the series have been different if, there weren't some fuck Kyrie chants in the building and, their second option, having the fans in his head, because they wouldn't have been saying fuck Brunson. So
they wouldn't.
Do you think that the Celtics really got into the Celtics fans really got into Kyrie's head? Because that has been a talking point.
To be honest with you, not really. I think that he's discovered how to guard Kyrie. The Celtics figured out probably the best way to do it, and I think it is actually easier than people thought it would be. And I don't think he could do some of the things that Brunson could do. Brunson would have probably, made it really hard for y'all to defend with his mid-range game, where I don't think Kyrie could.
I think Brunson would have been a better facilitator than Kyrie. I think that would have actually been the differentiating factor. But the mid-range and the three-point shooting, I still think that's...
Well, but when I say mid-range, I just mean truly getting into the mid-range. And since that is a threat, it would have opened up for the passes and things like that.
I also think Brunson is better with physicality than Kyrie in terms of not being a better bucket when someone's getting physical with you potentially, but literally move, nigga. I'm going to score the ball. I think that's what you have to do to beat the Boston Celtics, and that's never been Kyrie's game. He's more of a creator. Brunson can be like damn near a bulldozer at point guard.
I seen Brunson look like point guard Julius Randle this past playoff, and I was like, man, I don't know. That's like a top 5 player to me. God, please, nobody take that seriously. Sage.
I thought about doubling down. on the take, but nah, I'm gonna go somewhere different. We were talking about a Souls and Sage video, and not to spoil the video, but I'm gonna give you another spoiler. Wemby was a huge topic of discussion. Wemby gonna jump another tier next year. That's gonna be that might seem cold unless you guys are going too early, but I think Wemby is going to get scary good. I think Wemby is going to be unbelievably good. There's some stat my friend was talking about, and I forgot, and he's a fucking liar, so he could have made the shit up. But apparently, Wemby is already on a minutes restriction. We all know that shit, right? But apparently when Wemby does play 35 minutes, oh, shit's crazy. Apparently anytime Wemby actually fucking plays, it's fucking over. He said the stats were unbelievably 2K good. And I was like, I mean, I see it. I see that shit. Was I sitting there watching every Spurs game? Hell no, especially when they're clearly tanking and Wemby's on a minutes restriction. But I think that and maybe it's not the hottest thing for me to say, but I think Wemby is going to take a jump next season. I think they're going to greatly benefit off of picks 7 and 11, or is it 7 and 4? 7-11?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. But they have two. I think the 2 lottery picks are going to help out big time. I think they're going to actually make the right moves in free agency. Shout out to the Spurs for unironically having 2 great guards that would play well with Wemby today and not having either of them in Derek White and DeJounte Murray. But, hey, you win some, you lose some. I think the Spurs are going to be on timing. And maybe, I guess, the hotter take is Spurs playing next year.
Jalen Brunson, 36, 5, and 9 in the first round versus the Sixers. Bezos. I love that kid. Love him.
Maybe I'll regret saying this in the future, man, but I think after every single finals, we just look at certain teams and say, man, the future's bright for them. But Dallas's future, I don't think it's as bright as some of y'all think.
Oh my God! Why?
I just it's not Luka. Let me just say that it's not Luka. It's not Derek Lively. I just think for the style of play that they're gonna continue to run with Luka, which is a heliocentric style offense, I think that second dude, which may be me just admitting to the fact that Omar was right about the JB take. Kyrie's 32. I don't know how is it going to be an easy way to find a replacement for Kyrie if he starts slipping next year in terms of production? I just don't know. And in terms of this team being back in the finals, in the next 2 to 3 years, I just think some of those teams in the West are loading the fuck up. Specifically, and we'll probably talk about it in this podcast, OKC. I don't know what's the pathway for the Dallas Mavericks unless they get, I don't know, a LeBron this offseason to really compete for the next 3 to 4 years to get back to the finals more than once.
Well, you gave me I guess, better hot take, even though I think I just didn't deliver my Wemby hot take well enough. But I guess this is a scorcher. Kyrie's replaceable, gang. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Me personally, I think it's very replaceable. I think if Kyrie's ever getting old, okay, a smaller guard that can get a bucket, or perhaps a taller guard that can get a bucket, let alone a taller defensive wing. I think that is not hard in 2024, 5, 6, 7, where everyone can do everything, where everyone's skilled, everyone can do this, that, and the third. I do not think it's hard to get somebody maybe not as skilled as Kyrie Irving, but someone who can be as productive as Kyrie is for this Mavs team. I don't think that's
Kyrie for Zach LaVine straight up. Who says no? No, I do. I would actually disagree. And again, I think that they just had the right guy in their lap. Was going to play for them.
Nah, the Brunson fuck up is there.
Isaac Okoro, by the way, that he just gave that shoulder to. I don't know.
Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm saying, yeah, Brunson will just forearm your ass.
Yeah.
So I just don't I don't know. Plus the other thing is when we talk about the dollars and cents implications of things, because Brunson would have been playing for Brunson was asking for a Scottie Pippen deal. I don't know if niggas know that. Brunson was asking for like 50 million total or some shit like that. Like he was asking for some bullshit. Some bullshit ass deal. He was like, I'll just take 50 mil total, 4 or 5 years, 50 mil total. $10 million for Jalen Brunson. What? And so then with that being said, because they still have holes, I think PJ was a good step forward from, Dodo and Spencer Dinwiddie and, changing up what they do with Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell and all them stuff. I don't think he's the end all be all. I think that, Daniel Gafford is good, but I don't think he's the end all be all. I think that they did find Derrick Jones Jr. I think he was a good step up from where they were, but he's not the end all be all. They have steps up here on this side to do, but it makes it harder because you do have a Kyrie Irving to figure out as well.
I think this is what I'm ultimately saying. I'm looking at his contract situation. He just finished 23-24. He's locked in for 25. He's locked in for 26 as a player option in 27. In the next 2 years, if I were to bet money, I would bet money on the Dallas Mavericks not making it back to the finals and Luka leaving than this team being back to the finals again in the next 2 to 3 years. And Dallas being this team that has Dallas being one of these like future perennial contenders in the league. I don't know. Maybe it's hate. No.
Yeah, I don't think it's hate. I mean, you're on a winner's high and you just beat them soundly, so fair enough. But I don't think it's hate, but I do think it's like
he sucked. No,
yes, oh my God. But I do think it's not 100% honest though, in the sense that, like, for example, let's really break down what the Dallas Mavericks have and what they're missing going forth in terms of a young core, even the championship core. They have the superstar, Luka Doncic. You're not saying it. If anyone else is saying it, hey, good for you. You're an idiot. Luka's fine. They have a front court for the future. They deadass have at least 3 players in the front court where I'm like, oh, yeah, they're good for like 4 years straight. And Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, to a degree, because sometimes he can get wonky. I think he can improve as a player. And PJ Washington.
I disagree.
Which one? You don't think
PJ?
PJ can go to the wing. Maybe you get a more not more physical. That's not the word I'm looking for. Fuck it, a fatter 4, like a bigger. You know what I'm saying? Like,
my thing is again, and I'm judging basketball differently because we are better. We should be better. What's his game like putting it on the floor?
PJ Washington?
And his consistency with shooting the basketball.
Yeah, maybe it's because of by design of what Dallas has done and what Boston did, which is take away the corner. For those that don't recognize that shit, dog, That nigga can't shoot from the wing. For me, maybe that was a matter of reps or something like that. But I'm thinking going forward, every player I just named is also going to improve. I think PJ Washington can get better. Maybe not shot creation wise. And if that's a problem, hey, there we go. But I think you and Damo had an argument about him doing a floater or something. So maybe he does need to add more to him. But in terms of Gafford, Lively, Luka, I think they're all going to continue to get better. I think that PJ, I believe in him enough, maybe not to guard literal small forwards as Cardiac was getting to, but perhaps be somebody that can play at a smaller position so offensively you can go bigger. Because the one thing the Dallas Mavericks are probably going to need to do is be a little bit more on the physical side. If Luka Doncic is never going to be this world-class athlete, if you're going to have Kyrie Irving for the foreseeable future, you're going to need at least some advantage in the physical department against most teams. And I think that's going to have to be a strength thing, to be honest.
Would you sign PG? And we'll go on after this. Would y'all sign PG if you were Dallas?
I mean, hypothetically, yeah, he would fit like a glove, but how much?
All of the money.
Shit. I'm about to say, hypothetically, he fits like a glove. My issue with Paul George there is it going to ruin Kyrie? I think that answer is no. Is it going to hold Luka? It better not. You're gone. So hypothetically, he makes a ton of sense. It's just I don't think they can, and I don't think they got the.
They need more people that can put the ball on the floor, bro.
Yeah, because that bench is bad, man.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If Paul George ever bought into like, yo, man, I could be the perfect 3-and-D and just shake it up or putting the ball off.
Yep. 3-and-D with some bop in it. That's what I want Paul George to be. 3-and-D with some bop in it. I know that sounds dangerously similar to what he is.
Season, though. I don't know.
But as a number 2 and then a number 1. I want to see him either be a clear-cut 2, not a 1A, 1B thing, a clear-cut 2, or even a 3.
I think for the Clippers this season, now, again, like what you're saying, for some nights PG was their best player, but like I think James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, from who controls the offense standpoint, they were the 1 and 2, and PG was the guy coming off the pin downs.
Harden was a playmaker. I don't know how to score. Harden was the playmaker, though. I see what you're saying.